Greetings, YouTube. I found myself thinking about the fact that eventually Caucasians will be another minority group in America, that they will no longer be the dominant uh, ethnic group, white Europeans. But they're still going to have power. And I realized that America was going to turn into South Africa, a small group of very powerful, influential white people and a large population of non-whites. And I fear that political machinations are going to lead us down the same path towards apartheid, that we are going to walk that dark path. And I'm even convinced that there will be middle class and poor white people that will vote away their own ability to be part of the democratic process if it means that minorities will also lose their vote. Yeah, I'm dead serious. I'm convinced that the GOP oligarchs would be able to word legislation in a manner that would convince white middle class and poor people to vote for it, even if it took away their right to vote, so long as it screwed every single minority in America. Heck, they might even throw a rider in there to take away women's rights to vote. And I'm sure that there are still female members of the GOP base that would vote for it, because there is such a deeply ingrained strain of the socially conservative disease in the GOP base. So in 100 years from now, I could see the United States with a small, tight-knit, wealthy, powerful white population with a huge mass of disenfranchised, poor white people, middle-class white people for the few that remain, and millions of powerless, voiceless minorities. And if they have control of the police and the military, they could very well enforce this for a very long time. And there isn't going to be anybody else left to condemn them. Because we already see in other parts of the world, other countries are drifting towards fascism just like America is. Just like Brexit, the election of El Cheeto, these are signs that we are drifting towards fascism. Look at Putin. He's a fascist dictator in everything but name at this point. There's no democracy in Russia. None. When it came, they voted on invading Crimea. How can you do that? How can you vote on invading another country? One guy voted against it. That's not democracy. And we're looking at that here in America. And the Democrats will just tag along with the GOP because it means that they'll still have some power. And since most of them are white people, won't affect them. They're all wealthy and powerful. Sure, they'll make a good show of it. A lot of smoke and mirrors and banging and clanging and yelling and screaming and no real action. And I'm not sure that even blood in the street would change it, because they're going to have bigger guns, more police, more soldiers than any opposition group. And they will crush them with severe and intense aggression. But that small white minority will be safe and secure behind their armored walls, and they'll never have to think about the masses outside. And they'll finally have the new feudalism that they've always wanted. Now you could be saying, Tetsubo, that's pure hyperbole. You're spinning a fantasy. Well, I have to say I am spinning a tale. But it's a tale that some members of the GOP leadership would really love. And a whole lot of white supremacists would really love it. Even if it meant they couldn't vote, so long as they screwed all the minorities and the women and those faggots and those Muslims and all those filthy immigrants, yeah, they'd throw their right to vote away. They'd do it while they laughed, while they put on their jack boots and their brown shirts, grabbed their billy clubs, went out there to bust some heads. I'm looking at a really dark future in America right now. It's ugly, and I don't see any light to shine a path towards a solution.